are flying, paintbrush in hand. Fortune whispers, don't misunderstand. Crystal laughter fills the scene. Future shining like a movie screen. Tarot readings, wine that flows, art that shines, and hearts that glow. Stories told in the spark divine. Friday night feels so alive.
Hello.
Well, hello.
I'm not bothering. I'm sitting
It
in.
is echoing. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, if anybody's here, welcome in. I can't see who's all here. So if you would
I can't
like
see
to
any
get,
either.
can you see if people are here? Once they start coming in, and I can write down, who and what they're asking. But
Yeah,
so
I
can
don't
you see though if people are coming in though?
No, I don't see anybody coming in.
Okay.
But I'm certain that they are. It's just that I'm the
Right. So tonight, Bonnie, filling in for Bonnie is Kevin. And Kevin, if you're here tonight, Kevin will be our other reader. So if you'd like, hello, Lori, welcome in. If you're here tonight, please say hello. We are first night of our show Changing Times from 5 to 7 Mountain Standard Time. And if you would like a reading, please give us your zodiac. Do you need zodiac sign, Kevin?
Yeah, it helps. It doesn't, it
Okay,
doesn't hurt.
so give us your zodiac sign. Hello, marijuana, and give us your zodiac sign.
I don't know
Did I
if that's
say that wrong? Is
marijuana.
it marijuana? And give us your zodiac sign and your question. And we will put you on the list. Welcome in, everybody. How's your Friday night going? We want to send good energy and prayers to Bonnie. She's working on getting better, but she will be back as soon as possible. So Kevin is filling in tonight.
Yeah, I really appreciate that too. Bonnie's always been a really solid friend and mentor for me, and whole spiritually and stuff. I really, I'm honored that she'd asked me to hang out here with you folks. But yeah, let's just take a second, and just send her positive love and vibes. So, she'll be back at it in no time.
Exactly. So the format tonight is going to be as usual. Now, Kevin, had you wanted to go first, or do you want me to go first? It's up to you.
Ladies before gentlemen, right?
Okay. So with doing that, you guys know how I usually draw and then show it. Well, I've done some ahead of time because of, not knowing if Kevin wanted to go first. So I will have them already done. I will go first and do your reading, and then Kevin will give his reading for you. And so first on the list is Marijana. She's an Aquarius, and she wants to know what's awaiting her in September. Okay.
Happy Friday. Jess, do you want to read it?
Right, everyone. Yes. All right. So, Marijana, I'm getting that you are going to really kind of start to spiritually awaken a little bit more. You're going to start to maybe dream more and get more information in your dreams. You're going to start getting a little more guidance as far as where you want to go in your life. It's kind of like a new chapter for you and a new direction. And you kind of been trying to decide in your mind, like where you're going from here. I would advise going out in the sun when you can, because sun will give us downloads, and to just really meditate, close your eyes and tap into whatever comes to you. Maybe journal that. But I'm getting that you're going to get some pretty clear visions and things coming up. So kind of starting to level up on that, if that makes sense. And welcome in, Jess. How are you? All right, Kevin. Marijana for you.
Marijana. So yeah, and I do things a little differently. I just really read by intuition, what I get from the cards, and I also don't use a standard deck. But I'll let what cards we're dealing with, in the regular tarot, just so you can kind of do your own thing. But keep in mind that everything that I'm going to tell you is something that you can, it's in you. That even if it doesn't resonate what we tell you, even then, but you have the answer, you can find it. So the first card I pulled for you was the Storyteller, which is the Fool card. And that's just like a new beginning. You're starting out. So like you were talking about September, and what Sarah was saying with the spiritual, the spiritual thing, that's you can walk through that door, you know what I mean? You're starting a new thing. It's the beginning of it. And if you want to, certainly that, with every path, every journey, you're going to run into, well, this is the nine of bolts, yeah, the Knight of Bolts, which is wands. Now he's on the moon, but he's a little beat up, but he's really getting to the end of the thing, and he's doing it. So just know that there is going to be some hard work. It's not going to be all, you'll get what you'll get out of it what you put into it, because ultimately it's going to bring you to the King of Bears, and the King of Bears is like the King of Pentacles. So that's success. That's that's a lot of good things. So the end goal looks really bright for you. You might have to work a little bit, but it's not a bad thing, because you could see by the alligator, he's determined. He's doing it. Yeah, he took a couple tumbles, but he's all right, and you will be all right too. I hope that helps.
Awesome. Hey, Jess, on your reading, wanting to be put on the list, can you give us your zodiac sign and your question, please? And
Gemini.
you will be next. She would love a reading from you. And anyone else that would like a reading, please give us your zodiac sign and your hello, Victor. Please give us your zodiac sign and your question. How's everybody doing this Friday evening in August, last Friday of the month?
It is. Am I going first on this one? Or?
You can if you'd like. I just was waiting for her question.
All right. I'm still catching up.
So, but this is Jess. And so Jess, do you have a question or do you want a general read?
There's that like lag, highest and greatest.
Yes, Gemini, and she'd like her highest and greatest good. You would like to go first with her, feel free.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right, Jess. All right. So, well, you know how I do. Our first card is our three of bolts. Three of bolts. So the good thing is, it's the three of bolts is the wand. So there you got your three ships out there. There's three paths. You're setting sail. You're doing your thing. But there's three paths that you can go through. You know what I mean? You're probably more than three, but the card represents three. So there's you're setting sail is basically it, or at least that's where it's going for you. The cool thing about that, I think, with that card is it's the journey. I always like the excitement of a journey, that just kind of brings up the it's change, so there is certainly some sort of change. Are you going to venture into the unknown, or are you going to stay home and safe? And I don't want to do that, because you got three paths, and then there's another one that's maybe something else. So that's that. The second card is our doorway card, which is, what number is that? See, you think I know. The doorway is equal to balance, temperance. that 18, 19, 14. Yeah. Balance, temperance. So yeah, I could just look at the card and tell you that. But so yeah, you gotta have that, that balance and with that because, you know, if you get lopsided on your journey here, there's gonna be, it's not gonna be pleasant. There's always going to be challenges and pitfalls. I mean, that's the whole thing of the journey. You're going through, you're going up, you're going down, you're going, and that's a cool thing. And like I was telling marijuana.
Sorry, I said it wrong. I'm sorry.
This is the nine of bolts, which is it, it's hope. There's hope. I mean, he's been through a bit. You know what I mean? He's on the moon. He's looking at the earth. There's no cobwebs on his feet. He's ready. He's like, I'm at the last stretch. Because that brings the 10, and then the whole thing goes on. But so while the journey may have been rough for him, he's prepared and he's ready to go forward. So like like our alligator friend here, you might run into some stuff, but if you keep the balance, right, then whatever path you go by, you'll be all right. I hope that helps.
Jess, what I'm getting for you is that you are in a major level up. I think I mentioned that last time. And what they're telling me is you need to tap into your star seed part of you. And so going outside at night and looking at the stars and seeing which one you're the most called to, and then just like meditating and pulling that energy to you, tapping into like understanding, your lineage as a star seed and what is the significance of that. Because I feel like one of the lifetimes that you've been is a Syrian from Sirius B. Very loving, very giving, very much into helping the collective to grow. And I know when I tapped into that part of me, it really helped me to get through things in the energies and understand humans better and understand kind of just the whole thing that's going on now with things dividing into two timelines. And so they're telling me that you need to kind of start tapping into that and understanding that. Because if you're at a higher vibration and you're helping the collective, you're going to go on that timeline. And if you're stuck in all of the misery of the 3D world and what's going on there and getting stuck on this is never going to get better, or I don't know what's going on here, you go on that timeline. So if you actually start tapping into the starseed stuff, you'll start to understand that you can ride this wave going, it's like you're on a magic carpet above all the mayhem that's going on, and you're able to kind of lift yourself out of that that energy, that chaos energy. You know it's happening, but you just problem solve it. You get through it because it's part of this evolution of what's going on. So I just encourage you to tap into that. And I agree with Kevin. Balance is the key to that, especially when you start digging into stuff. It gets really mystical, like a rabbit hole. And keeping that balanced, but knowing that it's going to help you with your growth and your leveling up, if that makes sense.
And just one so that 9, that's that there is a lot of hope in that. There's not, it's not a bad thing. There's, there is a lot of hope. It's just balance. You just have to really, stay the course. Don't give up. You know what I mean? And don't defeat yourself. Back to what Sarah was saying. Definitely don't defeat yourself. Don't, just be undaunted about it because you're on the right path, clearly.
Exactly. You're here for a reason. And sometimes, when there's a lot of roadblocks, you just realize that something's trying to stop you from the light because you have a huge mission, so roadblocks happen and you just have to okay, that happened. I'll deal with it, but you're not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going because I know I have a mission, and then they kind of back off and then it happens again. It's part of it. It's learning experiences. It's setting boundaries with people. It's conserving your energy. There's just so many parts of it, but learning that part of you will help you to understand it a little bit better. All right, you guys. Hopefully that's helpful. Is there anybody else that would like a reading? Thank you, everybody, for joining. Hello, Kira. I appreciate you coming in. And Julie, I see you, Julie.
Yeah, hi, Julie. I think Victor was. I don't know.
Okay, Victor. Victor was talking about who he is. Victor, do you have a question that you'd like to ask? Oh, and Dupree would like a reading. Okay. May get a general reading. Dupree, what is your zodiac sign? And they would like a general reading. And Victor, do you have a question? And your zodiac sign. Same to you, Carrie, if you'd like a reading. And I don't, anybody else? All right, Carrie would love a reading as well. Carrie, what's your zodiac sign? Pardon?
Do we have an order here?
We do. I'm just trying to get everybody to give me their info so we can go.
So Victor's Sagittarius, I think, and
Sagittarius general. And do you know his? Do you need his zodiac sign? I don't, but if you do,
no, that's fine. And then I think Dupree is.
So Dupree is fourth. Who was the third one? Victor was the first one. Next one, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. So Victor, you're next. Then Dupree, and then Carrie. Okay. So Victor.
I'll let you go first.
Wants a general reading. All right.
He's a double fish, even though.
Yeah, but I don't know anything else. Okay.
Is that like a PhD? You know how in they have like all these letters after him, especially in tech. Everybody's got MM, CSE, MSN.
Yeah, it could be right. I don't know. I think it has to do with his astrological.
Yeah.
Victor, you're in Sweden, right? So there might be some jargon that we're not aware of as well. Okay, let's see here, Victor.
What do I got for Victor?
Victor, this one's for you. All right. So what they're telling me, and it's kind of gimmicky, is follow the yellow brick road, like in the Wizard of Oz. So basically, follow and do things that bring you joy, things that bring you to the light, things that make you feel like you're standing in your purpose. I know you've been doing that, but balance is going to be the key. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You're getting enough sleep. You're eating right. You're making sure, that you're talking to people and getting out of the house and balancing your life, spending time in nature, but then also following that road specifically to make sure you're doing that. So whether you're journaling that down to make sure that you're balancing everything. And not getting caught up so much in what people say or what they do. I know you've been working on that, but it's going to get easier because you're going to start to see, well, it's just whether somebody's awoke or not awoke. Don't worry about trying to get through to those that aren't awoke. Share with like-minded people, and just, stay in that meditative state every day so that you can kind of tap in and center yourself before you start your day, if that makes sense.
That's a good one, KK. KK has like all the. I always bug her with like horse jokes every time. She's got like a horse thing out in Oregon, right?
Right.
She got me today, though. So Vic, I'm sorry about that little interlude. That was funny though. I like that joke. So what I pulled for you is the 10 of skulls. Skulls are swords, so that's your air thing. It's yeah, it's really a heavy burden, you know what I mean? But it's transformation, all these skulls are sitting on top of this other one, but on the skeleton, but it's not, it there's a breakthrough. It's a time for like a solitude. You just kind of get your ducks in a row, as it were, or skulls in a row, right? And then and because there is hope, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, well, that's the general uh, the general feel of it. But that gives way to the four of bolts, which I think is like, if you look at this card, really cool, man. There's a like abundance of flowers. You got the pyramids there. You got the bolts under the moon. It's just really, really a lot happening there because it's stability, it's ease. It's like, all right, this is going to give way to a point in time where you're going to be okay. I've got it, and you're going to be able to relax a little bit and enjoy, the freedom of the less burden of whatever this was for you. And that's gonna energize you. So just take when you get to that point, and you'll know when you get to that point, because I think you said something about your neighbors and stuff. So there's a lot of like stuff in flux for you. But there's going to come that point in time where you're going to have that, just relax and enjoy what you have and just be really, really grateful, because right around the bend is the queen of pentacles, or I'm sorry, the queen of bears, which is the queen of pentacles. And that's just like a really nurturing, loving kind of thing. So, ultimately you're going to have this abundance and this really powerful, good thing going on. Share it, and because you see the queen, she's sharing it, she's helping out the bear there, and that's really ultimately where you're going with this. You're going to want to be able to share that energy and help that. So as difficult as the journey is at times, you know what I mean, there's a lot of good there. You just kind of sometimes take a moment for that and be grateful for what you have when you have it, because it's all there for you, and that'll just cultivate more. That's all I got.
Awesome. Welcome in, Angie and Cherry Blossom. Glad to have you here. If you'd like to be on the list, let us know and give us your zodiac sign and question. Next on the list is Dupree, Scorpio, general reading.
When he wants to. Do you want to go first?
Okay. Let's see here.
Scorpio, Dupree, general reading.
Okay, Dupree, I get that you've been trying to tap into some of your gifts. You definitely have the gift of healing touch, signified here with the energy in your hand. How do you activate that? You rub your palms together and you've opened up those chakras, and now you're able to use that gift. That's why people are going to say, oh, I love your energy. I love your touch. And you give the best hugs, all of that kind of thing. Just know that that's an actual gift, and it's something that you can use to help heal yourself, help heal others. Um, you don't have to give the shirt off your back or do all these extra things for people. You just simply keep your energy up, and it's healing to be around other people. So tapping into that and really understanding, like maybe start to work on understanding the chakras and that healing gift that you have. It's one of many, but it's one that they're saying to focus on right now because there'll be people around you that are hurting or whatever, and it's a way for you to help without having to give the shirt off your back, and it's actually like really priceless. So that's what they're telling me.
Yeah, kind of what Sarah's saying. So the first card I pulled for you is King of Bolts, and that's wands. So that's freedom. That's a big vision. I mean, you can see he's doing his thing. He's got, he's strolling along. There's his path. You know what I mean? It's windy. It's going through. He's definitely he's got visions. He's got that, and that's solid. Like she was saying, work on that, because you can definitely don't sell yourself short, because if this card's showing up, it means, yeah, man, think big, act big, because this is for you. But it does come a little cautionary thing with the Knight of Bolts, which is the Knight of Wands, and that could be a little bit anxious, I suppose. But it's passionate and it's movement, but it might be reckless. So you got to kind of temper that with balance, because shortly thereafter is the Seven of Skulls, and Seven of Skulls is swords, and that's you know, there's distraction. So there's going to be, you see, you got the skull here, and there's all these like little skulls trying to distract it. That's there's going to be stuff needling at your energy and stuff. Just be the better person, take the higher road, and whatever is going to distract you, especially in a spiritual thing, you can walk into work, and not everybody's going to really understand spirituality the way you dig it. And so I mean, those are distractions. So just always just keep in mind, and don't let that, just be the better person no matter what, and then you'll be fine. But you got this guy, and I like that card. So
awesome. All right, next we have Carrie. She's an Aquarius, and she would like a general read.
That's KK.
Yes, KK.
Well, KK, very interesting. So the first one is the mirror, which mirrors, what number is that? It's 20, 26 or 21 or yeah, 16, right? 5, 6. So the mirror's tower, but don't get hung up on that, because it's just a catalyst for change that's happening. The shattered diamonds and everything. This rose just coming up for the thing. So there's a change on the horizon for you, and it's going to happen. So I mean, the only thing that you really got to do is just be aware of that. But then, life really has changed. So I mean, change is always happening. But this appears to be something that might be a little bit faster momentum. But I don't sense it as a bad thing. Change can be bad or good. It's really how you show up in it. So and you're solid. So I think that'll be fine. But I think you sense that already. I don't think that this is news. I'm not telling you something that you don't. You have to see what I'm saying. I don't think that's something that you don't know. And our next card, of course, is the skulls, King of Skulls, and the King of Skulls is swords, but it's it's justice. It's fair. I mean, I just see, like, yeah, he's at the top of the game, and it's whatever you'll be treated fairly because of what you've worked for. So yeah, I could see that release. The with the shovel he's got, like, I was looking at this the other day, and Yosemite, where they got the train the train thing, and I'm like, well, he's got a shovel, there's like a graveyard, and then there's like a train thing. So put to rest anything bad for that. It's not a bad, necessarily the tower, and not a bad thing, but this is, you're coming from, and everything's cool. And lastly, of course, the Lovers, and that speaks its language right there. But the Lovers is it doesn't necessarily mean romance. It just means passion. I'm using the Grateful Dead tarot. It's passion for something. So whatever you're doing, like the horses, and what you want to get started with, that it's the passion. And the Lovers are it can be romantic. A lot of people say, it's romantic, and definitely in this card, you got Reuben and Charisse, and that little love story happening. But it really symbolizes the passion and love. So ultimately, the tower and is going to give way to that what you love, the passion. So whatever it is, if it's in love, if it's in spirituality, if it's your horse thing, all of that is where you're going. Just keep your head right and keep that balance. I'm thinking you're going to be all right. That's all I got. Sarah?
So, uh, Carrie, what I'm getting is kind of like what I said to Jess. It's time to tap into understanding the star
You get that,
seed
Dupree?
part of yourself. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said I just wanted to show Dupree what I was using. He asked me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry. Go
It,
on.
it's time to tap into the star seed side of yourself. And so, like I showed Jess, going outside, tapping into the stars, start looking into what it means to be a star seed, because I really believe like the contact and the things happening on that side of you and those guides and all of that will make more sense once you understand it more. Because you do have some definite galactic guides. Andromedan, Syrian, there's just lots of different ones that you've been, all the ones that have to do with healing, um, abilities, your knowing, all of the clairs. But it just really ties in when you start tapping into that. And so I would encourage you to start doing that. I believe that a lot of us who are working in this area and are working with our gifts, um, will be one of the first ones that have contact with the messages that are coming through. And so just understanding those things, understanding yourself and that part of you a little bit better. First, we kind of start understanding our gifts, and then it's kind of understanding where it came from and kind of the universe of who we are. And so this is a piece that would be really important to kind of right now start understanding. So I would encourage you, if you guys need any info on that, get a hold of me. But it is a journey, it's a rabbit hole. So you got to stay grounded. But it is really empowering to understand that part of you. So I feel like this is the level up of where you're headed in understanding that piece. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
William.
I love your drawings too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And you're welcome, KK. I hope that helps you. I really do.
The three men that were in my recent dreams from the different star systems. Yes. So basically, they're gonna start tapping in because you've been those different races. So a lot of the beings that we see that we're like, okay, I don't know what that was. I know that from a star, or I had a dream that I was out in the galaxy or whatever. Those are all keys that you're actually have been these different races in past lifetimes, and they want to tap in and help you during this lifetime as you're on your journey of kind of raising the vibration of the earth and helping people to wake up. And so it's just helpful to know that you've got that backing and that you're tied to that and you can call that in. So definitely they're saying to me that you're on the level now of tapping into that. So exciting to see where this goes for you. All right. We've got a great room right now. We've got a lot of people coming in. Appreciate you guys. Welcome in.
Yeah, hit like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. That's right. Oh, I wanted to mention for those that don't know, if you decide you want to get this, I am selling these for 15. I'll mail them to you, postage included. It's up to you if you want them. It's a lot cheaper than if you went through my normal reading. Of course, you get way more time with that and you get a deeper reading, but you get a little canvas artwork. But that's, a lot more. And this is 15. So if you decide you want these, they're on cardstock. You just get a hold of me on the email below. So I appreciate you guys. Okay, next person on the list is Cherry Blossom Cancer and wants to know what's coming for them in the month ahead. Anybody else wants to be on the list? Let us know. We need your zodiac sign and your question. All right.
So another upcoming month.
Yes, like what's coming up.
So the first card I pulled is the Six of Roses, which would be the Six of Cups. It's kind of you know, maybe have, you know, they're beautiful blooming roses, but it's they're on this broken wheel, this spokes. Take a little bit of a rest. Keep keep I mean, you've got a lot, but it's just asking you to kind of step back and just really don't be too impulsive, I suppose. Simplicity is probably going to be your best friend. But also, as like I believe I was telling Victor, and you have the Queen, so that's very nurturing, and it's sharing. So um, see how she's like with the little bear, she's helping him out, and you got the roses and everything. It's she's really reached a point of caring and nurturing, but she's not really exerting herself. She's letting life happen again, taking it easy, relaxing, simplicity, keeping it there. A little bit later on down the road, we have the Two of Skulls, which is the swords, and that isn't there's worry and conflict and choices. See, you have the nice skull and you have the sad skull. Um, uh, don't get hung up on the worry. Don't get lost in your mind, because you have the ability to rest, relax, share, and be nurturing. But if you get hung up in your head, for whatever reason, and everybody's got a different thing, well, that could set you back, not necessarily in a bad way, but I mean, it might make this uncomfortable. So just kind of, keep your head about you, and relax, enjoy, be a little bit simpler, but yet be nurturing, loving, and caring, and be grateful. That's all I got.
Awesome. Okay. And yes, Julie, we got you on the list. Everybody so far that's said they want to be on the list. Amber, we've put you down on the list. Okay. So what I'm getting for you, Cherry Blossom, is you need to take a stand. You need to start setting boundaries with people. Surround yourself with people that make you feel better when you're around them, and let those not spend as much time with you that drain you. I feel like there's still boundaries to be set. I think you've been working on that, but it has been more in your mind. And I get that because I do the same thing. And it's work on being assertive with those people, instead of ghosting, or instead of, letting it go, being assertive and setting those boundaries, and really tapping into what are your needs? What do you need around you to feel more energetic, to feel, um, more purposeful and happy and driven. So surround yourself with people that are doing things that you want to do, people that are interested in things you're interested in, people that are talking about positive things and laughing and all of those things, instead of complaining and calling you to tell you their problems and all of that. So what I'm getting is, you need to stand up for yourself and set boundaries. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, Sarah did do those cards, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Amber, I draw and then I finish them later so you can get them. But this time I knew Kevin and I hadn't worked together. And so I did them ahead of time. Spirit allowed me to do them ahead of time. And then I find who they go to. So that is what I'm doing. So they're all ready to go if you decide you want them. And thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. Next we have Julie. Our Julie, and she's a Leo, and she wants her highest and greatest good.
I'll let you go first, Sarah.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, Julie, I'm giving this one for you. What I'm seeing is that you are an activator right now through the things that you're doing, the projects that you're doing. You're helping people to think about things that they don't normally think about, to things that they resonate with on all different levels through your podcast and the things that you're focusing on. You've been doing that, but what they want you to do is start tapping in to your own Kundalini energy and to really focus on pulling up that energy, um, because that is what's going to pull the people in to your program, to be able to more people watching, and also for yourself to keep up the energy of all these projects, because they're just going to grow and grow and grow, and you're going to have that energy and drive to keep going with it, because this is only the beginning, girl. I think there are a lot of us that are on these missions, and I just see big things, and so they want you to tap into that, because you're very good at studying things and really understanding it. And it's something that you could actually help people understand how to do as well. So understand that that's kind of like the next level of where they want you to go, is understand that for yourself, understand it for others, and then also, tapping into that before you go out and interview and do whatever, because it's going to be like this beacon for people to want you to stop them on the street and say hello and ask your questions and all of that. So anyway, that's what I'm getting for you, Julie.
Yeah, actually, I with what Sarah was saying. So I pulled for you first the eight of bolts, and the eight of bolts is the wands, and it's like momentum. You see that there's the tiger. He's riding these bolts of lightning. This is momentum. This is happening. This is pushing you forward. This is keep your eye on your destination. And your growth is just what's happening here, and it's just pushing you forward. It's pushing you forward to our three of roses, and the roses are cups, and this is like creativity, community. Again, this is a very giving kind of thing, which is really exactly. It's really kind of beautiful. But what really ties this all together, I found, was just as she was telling you you're reading, I was just really amazed at this. Is the lady, which is the high priestess, and there's a lot of interesting spiritual stuff happening in this card. If take a minute to look at it, it's the high priestess, and what comes next after the high priestess? Well, isn't that the empress, right? So I mean, you're really building a momentum. Your energy is taking you there. You have the creativity. You have the light heart and the love and everything. And that's just, you can see the roses are just growing here. What can I say, man? You're the high priestess or the lady. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
All right.
keep doing what you're doing is ultimately. I mean, that's really honestly what I got out of it, because you're just really growing and you're helping a lot of folks, and that's a beautiful thing. So just keep on doing that, because you're on the right path. I hope that helps.
Awesome. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Hey.
I just feel that energy, like, okay. Amber is next. Our Amber, on the cusp of Sag and Capricorn, Sagittarius and Capricorn.
You're
She
welcome.
wants to know what is best for her greater good. Okay. Do you want to go first, Kevin? You want me to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay. All right. Amber, what they're telling me, so there's two things that's coming up here, two cards. So they're saying that right now because you've just got so much going on that you've been a lot in your head, like, okay, I've got all these ideas, they're all coming to you. Why? Because you have leveled up, and now it's like a new, project in school, right? So like when you enter a new program and everything's new and you have all these ideas and you have all these chapters and things, and it gets overwhelming sometimes. And so grounding is going to be really, really, really important right now because you're kind of getting lots of downloads and ideas. And the best thing to do, Spirit has always told me, is to write that stuff down, figure out which one to start with, just go with it. You don't have to know everything about it. You don't have to do whatever. And then go with it. And then it'll circle back around the other things that you've written down when it's time for those things to happen. They don't all have to happen at once. You know, uh, doing the things one at a time, and then giving yourself as much time when you do that project. Give yourself as much time downtime so you can regenerate. And then they're showing me this one for you. So if you can see, that's you right here. So like really during meditation, they're showing me you've been astrally traveling and doing like all this stuff, and you are, girl, you're up in the ethers. Like, so the grounding's going to help you with that as well, to balance that out. So anyway, that's what they're showing for me. I'm getting kind of the same feeling of the other two, that it's time to start tapping into the starseed stuff. But I think before that even is part of it, the grounding and like kind of centering your mind, because you got a lot of downloads going on right now, girl. So it's a blessing. And then it also sometimes feels like it's overwhelming. So just know that it's on to bigger and better things.
So I pulled the first card I pulled was the Wolf, which is like the death card in regular tarot. It's just, you could see these, I don't know if you can see them, but they're holding on to their chains. They don't even realize that they can let go of them at any point in time. Usually when this shows up, I really get the feeling of like, know what binds you and know that you have control over that, and just be mindful of that, because it could, if you hold on to it, you're going to be stuck. So just make sure that you have, you're just cognizant of that. It's not necessarily a real, death change and stuff like that. Yeah, there's that. But, this is really more centered on you. You have the control to let go of the chains and anything that seems to be influential. The next card was the seven of bolts, and that's the seven of wands, and that's really you see he's got a left-hand monkey around. He's really working really hard and stuff like that, but he's struggling against something that he doesn't, that's giving him opposition. It's probably unnecessary struggle because of this. I mean, he's holding on. He's one of these dudes holding on to the chain, and he's struggling. So this kind of goes hand in hand to me, because if you're struggling, it's because it's something in you that you're seeing that, and like she was saying, there's a change anytime you start school, and there's a new class schedule, new teacher, new people, and everything like that. So that, all that kind of goes hand in hand with that type of thing. So it's not, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's going to be a struggle, because that's where you're at. The next card I pulled was the Eight of Roses. The Eight of Roses is the Eight of Cups. So that's just basically, if it's bullshit, let it go, man. Drop it and just move forward. Because you could see there's the, these beautiful roses, their abundance and stuff like that. But, if you get in your way, you know what I mean, you're not going to be able to enjoy that. So let go of anything that just doesn't serve you. If it's not serving you, then it's not really worth your time. You have a lot better things happening, and just flip it and go for that. That is about all I have for you. I was kind of, anytime I pull like this guy with the left-hand monkey wrench, it really is a left-hand monkey wrench. I'm like, oh man, not that guy again. But I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just telling you that, there's change afoot, and there's a lot of different moving parts, and you control what you got. So just remember, if it's binding you, let go of the chain. It's easy. It sounds easy anyway, but I hope that helps, Amber.
Awesome. So now, anybody else that would like a reading that hasn't got one, please give us your zodiac sign and your question. Welcome in, Michelle. I see Lori DeMarco and Michelle Connell have joined the room. So if you either one of you would like a reading, please let us know. You're welcome, Amber.
You're welcome, Amber.
I think it's about to shower. That's what Amber's saying.
Oh,
Okay, so
oh, you mean like planning for your shower? Use a wrench to turn on.
please, wrench to
Is
turn
it a
on
left
my
hand?
shower, right?
Is it a left hand monkey wrench?
That's how to use it in a positive way, right? Just take
Right.
that wrench and fix some things. That's right.
Who's next?
Okay, so we don't have anybody else. Anybody else like to get a reading? Okay, so Michelle would. Michelle's a Pisces, and she'd love anything that we see coming for her. All right. Michelle, what I see for you is that right now it's the best time to be starting to manifest. Things are coming quicker. Um, so understanding manifest, actually, when you're trying to manifest or bring something to you, um, you need to have in your mind what exactly that is. You can write it down, you can say it out loud. Actually, our words right now are manifesting really quickly. I don't know if everybody's noticing that, but time's going a lot faster. And what you say and you put out there is happening a lot faster. So we have to watch our words. So if you're thinking something negative, then just say really quickly, oh, erase, reset. What I really want is, so I tend to I tend to say, oh, I'm not feeling well and my health isn't good and whatever. Yeah, if I keep saying that, that's going to keep happening because the universe says, oh, that's what you want. But if I say I'm healing, I am working towards healing, I am getting better, then that's what the universe brings to me. So if you have something specific that you want, you write it down, you think about what it feels like, what does it taste like, what does it look like? If it's a person, what is the interaction? If it's a thing, what does it look like? What am I doing with it? And then you put your order into the universe as if you're doing it to Amazon. You put it out there and you just let it show up when it shows up. No pressure on that. So, when you have the Amazon order, you put the order in, it's going to come, right? So you don't sit there and second guess it. So that's what you do with the manifestation. But right now, it's time to really start tapping into that. So I would look up information on manifesting. You can make vision boards, all that kind of stuff. But it's time for you to understand the power of that. And that goes for all of us. But they're telling me that you need to understand the power of that for yourself.
Yeah, and in line with what she was saying, so the first card I got for you is the Fountain, which is the star card, which is a really hopeful card. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful things happening here. She's dipping her toes in the water. She's got a lot of good things. So, the universe is your playground here. So, definitely do that. The next follow-up card to that is the Page of Skulls. Now, that's a Page of Swords, but it's the student. It's, he's ready to learn. Just know the rules and ready to learn. Like Sarah was saying, if spirituality and you're going that manifestation, because with the star card, yeah, you definitely have the stars in your corner, and this is telling you that it's take a beginner new mindset, because just know that, and just be willing to learn and stuff, because he's learning, he's playing the game here. So that is ultimately what you do, and you will you'll grow. And like you said, manifestation is pretty, once you make that a habit, it comes to you. Because we next have the king of skulls, which would be the king of the skulls. Yeah, the king of skulls, which is the king of swords. So that's, justice and everything that's professional support. It's community. He's doing, um he's at the end of, at the top of his game. So, you'll start out, learning it, and learning it, but the stars are in your corner, and they're going to help you. So just, you know adopt that beginner mindset and just be willing to learn and have fun with it, and just, ultimately, you get to a point where, others will be able to help you, and you'll be able to help others, and then, the cycle goes on. But, instead of being here, you'll be here, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. But yeah, man, you got a really beautiful reading in terms of, you know what I mean? Just go out and manifest it. If they're urging you to do it and you feel the pull, take it.
Exactly. And while Kevin was reading, I looked up and I saw 555 for you. It was 5:55 on the time for me. And when I looked that up, the synchronicity number, when you see three numbers consecutive, whether it's the time or a sign you see or whatever, you see that number, it's your guides giving you a message. And so when I looked up the meaning of 555, it means change. It means a change is occurring. The universe is moving things around for you. So I just got chills. So that's telling me, yes, this is your time to manifest. This is your moment. And this is going to be, you are the moment. You are in the peak of your level up. So this is in your understanding who you are as a soul. So this is a really good time to tap into that.
It's funny you should say that, because you were talking there about hers, and the first card that I pulled was, the Fountain Star card there, and I got those chills. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because you were like saying,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you're the manifesting." Oh yeah.
Sometimes we don't realize that we're in that part, or in that stage. We don't realize it. And then later we go, oh, I wish I'd done this, or I wish I'd tapped into that. Why was I feeling so good during this time? Well, it's because it's that time, we have our highs and our lows. It's that time where it's just the right time to start understanding that gift. And then once you understand it's in your toolbox to use, for the rest of your life. So, all right, awesome. Yes, Lori, you don't want it. So
No.
Lori's here to cheer you on, which is
Yeah.
awesome. We're so glad you're here. But she does not want a reading at this time. Anybody else, would you like a reading? We still have an hour. If anybody else, I don't think you want to hear us sing or anything like that. So what would you like to know? Anybody else would like a reading?
My scale's telling me I gotta step on the scale.
Oh, I need to set things like that. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad. Yes, you just hit the level up. What happens sometimes we feel like we're stuck, and it's really actually that you've leveled up to the next level. So it's like a video game. Okay, you're in the video game, you're on that level, you learn everything, you learn who's against you, you learn your challenges and your doors to go through, and you find, the goal, you find the prizes. Then you go to the next level and it's all new, right? It's all new hurdles, all new prizes. You don't know where you're going, and it feels like you're stuck. But it's not stuck, it's a new level. So now it's time to see things through different eyes. Oh my gosh, I'm in a new reality. I'm in a new reality, and now I'm starting over at that level though, and I'm learning. I'm learning about this new level. So,
And be kinder to yourself too. I know that, from my own personal experience, sometimes that, I feel like, growth comes like, like a stock market thing. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's always moving up. It just sometimes it goes down and then it goes up a little bit more. but you get in those valleys, and it feels like you're you know, man, I don't know, I think I'm going backwards. It just doesn't feel right. But that's really just releasing that old energy so that, you know, it could propel you. That's It's a release, and then you oh, all right, and then you move up. So definitely, you know, don't beat yourself up if you're feeling stuck, and it's like, man, I'm doing everything I should be doing. I'm, you know, why do I still feel this way? Just be kinder to yourself, because that's part of the process of letting whatever change come to you.
Exactly. Exactly. So, do we want to give a general reading to the collective because there's nobody else asking for reading for the month of, what do we have going on here? What's the next month? My mind doesn't even know
The next
what
month
day
is
it is.
September, and that's just a few days away. So I will pull. I don't know. What do you think? Two? Well, I don't know. Are we fast?
I don't know. I don't know. We've had a good turnout though.
Yeah, we
Yeah, pull
did.
whatever you want to pull for that because we have some time, and I'll just channel whatever
What I'd
comes
like to
through.
do, actually, really quick, again, I'd really like to thank Bonnie for letting me sit in, and Sarah. It's truly an honor for me to you know, to be here with you folks, and you know, to help out. And that really is is great. And again, you know, let's just take a minute and send some positive love and energy for Bonnie, because, you know, let's make
Exactly.
her fill her energy up so she'll be buoyant again very, very soon.
Exactly. Bonnie says we can read her. And we thank you, Kevin, because, Bonnie and I have been trying to get this up and running on Friday nights and get people going. And, her and I have been struggling with health and,
Yeah,
days
yeah,
we can't do it. And so we appreciate you so much and
not a
anybody that's
problem.
been helping
It's truly my pleasure.
Bonnie to keep things going because
Mm,
it's the momentum of it, right? We got to
yeah,
keep it
yeah.
going, and we appreciate you. You're fantastic. You do a
Thank
great
you so much.
job. Great to work with. So Bonnie says we can read her. So Bonnie, what's your question? Do you want a general read? What would you like? General read. Okay. All right. Kevin, you want to pull some cards for Bonnie, and I'll
I
make sure.
have I have pulled some cards for Bonnie. So the first one I did was the King of Bolts, which is the King of Wands. It's freedom, vision, think big, Bonnie. You know, so I, I was reading somebody earlier, and I gave him the card. I really like this card because there's a lot happening, but he's just pretty much the master of what's happening. So, you know, that's, you know, think big, but, you know, don't get hung up on that, because you certainly have that. The next card I pulled was the Four of Skulls, right? Four of Skulls, yeah, Four of Skulls, and that's the Four of Swords. So again, that's withdrawal, you know, exhaustion, and you know, that symbolizes kind of maybe what you're going through, you know, at this particular point in time. So, you know, this is still priority, but, you know, this is kind of like a minor setback. Don't let that get hung up, because we have the Two of Roses, and that's connection, partnership. That's, you know, that's the, you know, the everything that's you know, it's the beginning. It's two. It's not a bad, you know, it's light heart, freedom, you know. So, you know, ultimately that's where it's going. And it's just the start. You know what I mean? You know the tarot better than I, so you know that, you know, you got the one, and it brings you to the two. So, you know, you're going there. Just take a little time for yourself for healing, and you know, focus on you, Bonnie, and then your energy will uplift you, and you'll be buoyant again.
Exactly. Um, so Bonnie, what I'm getting for you is kind of the same message that I've gotten for myself from my guides, that it's time to tap into your healing abilities for yourself. You've been doing this for everybody else, guiding everybody else, helping everybody else. And it's time to tap into those for yourself, and like going through your body and understanding that it has a consciousness and asking it what it needs. So it's screaming out, basically, when we break down, it's screaming out and saying, I need you to hear me. I need you to hear this part of my body. I need you to, like, the arm has its own consciousness, and every part of the body. And so asking that part, wherever the pain is or whatever's going on, tell me what it is that you need from me. And then trusting that message. Is it rest? Is it more time to yourself? Having that time to, regenerate yourself equal to the time that you're putting in giving to others. Tapping into, that consciousness of your higher self and your body, and getting those messages. And you'll be surprised how some of that releases when you tap into that. And then also remembering what it felt like when you felt like you had more energy and you felt better and you felt clearer and all of that thing, and pulling that energy to you, pulling that experience to you, is what they're giving me. And when you start doing that, things are going to start like manifesting faster and faster. So tap into your body. I had that experience. I had to go all the way up to a friend in Minnesota to understand how to do that. But literally, when my shoulder got really stuck and I couldn't unstick it, it was frozen. She kept saying, tap into that shoulder, tap into that shoulder. What is it trying to tell you? What is it trying to tell you? And I
It
was like,
hurts.
I can't do it. I can't do it. And then it finally told me, you're not listening to me. You're not taking care of me. You're overdoing me. You're using, that was my writing, my drawing arm. You're doing it too much. You're overdoing yourself. And so I had to start listening and being gentle and kind to myself, and tapping into that. So that's what I'm getting for you, Bonnie. I hope that's helpful. And we love you
We do.
and miss you and miss you. Thank you, Charlie. And welcome in, Courtney and I gotta get new glasses. Shavia. Sorry. Shavia. So we still have more time. If Courtney, if you and Shavia would like a reading, please let us know. We'll put you on the list. And we just need your sign and your question. We're so glad you're here.
There's that lag.
We've got that lag. So do you want to do a general reading for the group while we're waiting to hear back from them, or do we wait
Oh, we can just give it a second or two. It usually takes a moment.
second and see what? For those that don't know, we've decided, Bonnie and I, that we're going to do it an hour earlier. So this is our new regular time, 5 to 7 Mountain Standard Time. Is it Arizona time is all I can say. I don't know what that is. We never change. So if you're looking at Arizona, it's from 5 to 7. And we're going to start doing that because, it's late for her. It's late for a lot of people. And so this gives kind of in the middle of the time zones. All right. So Shavia would like, she's a Leo, and she would like a general reading. Mountain Standard Time. Courtney's helping me out. So we are Mountain Standard Time. So 5 to 7 Mountain Standard Time. Also, Bonnie, I'm picking up on tap into it. Coming up for you. All right. So Jess has a reading there for you, Bonnie. All right. So let's go with Shavia. And Courtney, you let us know if you would like a reading as well, and we'll do you next. So Shavia is Leo. And if I'm botching your name, please, I am so sorry. My glasses or it's just my eyes. I don't know. Can't read very well. And general reading. All right.
So I pulled, actually this one flew out. And so I'm like, and that was after you'd mentioned it. So I'm like, that's yours for sure. So this is like the 3 of bolts, which is the 3 of wands. And that's a journey, you got some paths, there's, I don't know if you could see them, but there's 3 ships. They're all going 3 different directions, so you got three paths. So there's certainly, I think the two of bolts before that, it's a guy waiting around deciding on, what do I want to do? But this is, you've made the decision. There's a few options open to you, and now the journey is really beginning. And it's not necessarily easy. It's not necessarily short, but you're on a path. The next one I pulled was the Seven of Bears, and the Seven of Bears is Pentacles. So it's patience. So obviously, you have the journey, you made your mind, but the Seven of Bears is patience, because if you look, he's planting these seeds, and he's like work. He's like, man, I don't know what's going on, but right behind him, there's all these beautiful sunflowers, and there's just all this abundance right behind him. But the only thing he's focused on right now is he's planting these seeds. Like, man, when am I going to hit pay dirt? So that, just keep that in mind, that it's patience and persistence, and focus on the long term, and it will pay off, because the Ten of Bears, which is the Ten of Pentacles, and that's just like, got the two wolves, we got the, this is it. This is the legacy. This is like really, really, sustainability. It's the end of like a beautiful thing. It's not just pocket change. It's really, really solid wealth. Whatever this pertains to. So it's the end goal. It's the beautiful abundance that this guy is. When's that going to happen? Because it's right behind him. It's right there, and this is what pays off. So just keep that. Just keep that in mind. It's a really cool reading. I really like that. That these two cards came out back to back. That's really cool. That's all I got. Sorry.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to pronounce your name right. I'm so sorry. Beautiful name, by the way. Chalvet. Oh, I love that. Sounds French. Okay, so what I'm getting for you is that you've been working on your spiritual journey. You understand, things and some of your gifts and things that are going on, but it's time to start tapping into sacred geometry, um, kind of some of the colors and symbols and numbers and things that are coming to you. Sacred geometry will be the key. And it's starting with the simple things like the patterns that you see in nature, and noticing, are you seeing a whole bunch of this certain, are you seeing a bunch of triangles? You see a bunch of patterns. And then tapping into, like, during meditation, what are you getting a message from the things that you're seeing? And that one of your guides, who is from Andromeda, is actually the one that's going to start helping you with that. So it's not on you to have to worry about what you're getting. No pressure. This guide will start showing you these messages, and they'll start helping you to understand how it all ties in. They're all pieces of the puzzle of understanding who you are, who you've been, and why you need to know this information. It's just kind of encoded messages that help you to level up, help you to help other people activate, help raise the vibration here on this earth. It's just kind of like a bigger consciousness of what's going on. So they're telling me that you're at the point where you're actually ready to start kind of understanding some of that, if that makes sense. Hello, Brolik. Welcome in. If you'd like a reading, let us know and we'll put you on the list. Okay. So next is Courtney. And Courtney is a Scorpio, and she'd like a general reading.
I took the liberty of pulling her cards. And well,
Awesome.
I saw that come up. I was like, oh, maybe I'll take the time.
Very, very good.
The first one I got was the Two of Roses, which is like the Two of Cups. So that's the beginning, partnership, creativity, connection. It's like it really encourages you to just really get out there and be test the waters, do what it is that that whatever your heart and whatever inspires you, because that's there's give and take, but there's creativity. Just it's a really positive, uplifting thing. The next one I pulled was a 2, and then after I saw a 2-2, I was like, oh man, one more 2, that would be cool. Well, this is the Two of Bears, and the Two of Bears is Pentacles, and that's like the the tarot, and it's got the guy juggling. So there's got to be some give and take and balance. Stay focused and keep that balance, and just know that you're juggling those two things, and you don't want to drop them. Not that you would, but just have that balance, and just know that that's where you're at. And then I didn't get another 2. I thought that would have been really cool, but I got a 3, and that's the 3 of roses, which is the 3 of cups. Again, that's more more creativity and stuff, going back to the 2, because the 2 brings you to 3. So I mean, you're definitely growing something that that's really obviously going to be beautiful. You can tell by the roses here, right? But the important takeaway is just maintain that balance, and then keep that in flow, so that there's going to be give and take. But I think you'll be fine. That's all I got.
Okay. So Courtney, I have to apologize because I was supposed to get back to you, and I'm so sorry. I got down a rabbit hole getting ready for this that I forgot to get back a hold of you. So this ties into kind of your question before, kind of telling you what I said to Bonnie. It's the same type of message, tapping into your body, tapping into the places that you're having issues with, asking it has a consciousness, asking it, what does it need? Why is it screaming out that there's a pain, or there's an ache, or there's a dysfunction of some kind? Like, what is it that you need from me? What do you need me to do for you? Give me some insight in that. And I want you to understand, and this one's not finished, but you have, different guides that have been guiding you since you were a small child. And you just need to really listen to those messages. That I know they've been all over the place, writing them down and asking your guides, what do they mean? Because what our guides do is they give us little pieces of the puzzle, a little one here, a little one there. But when you look over time, it makes sense, and they all kind of like come together and make sense. But tapping into your own healing abilities and actually working on yourself to not only like understand, because you know yourself better than any doctor, than any other person. It isn't that they can't help you. They can help you. They can do the tests, and that you can do all of the things you need done. But this is you understanding how it got to that point, because of maybe some inner child work that needs to be done, or some traumas, or things that have happened, or just overdoing it. They're telling me overdoing it. Like, you're like Superwoman. You've done all these things, and you go and use all your energy for everybody else. And it's time, I guess I'm getting like a spread for you. It's time to set boundaries with people. Tell them, hey, I need some downtime. I need to spend some time to myself to recuperate, and I need to sleep, or I need to do whatever it is that I need to do to take that time for me. Take as much time as you do helping others and stretching yourself to regenerate. And listen, go within and listen to your body. What are those parts telling you? And I think you're pretty good at doing that, but actually understanding it has a consciousness. So whatever part it is, what can I do for you? What do I need to deal with? What kind of trauma, or whatever it is, grieving, letting go, whatever that is, getting to the source of that. And then remembering what you felt like when you were feeling really good, and pulling that energy to you. So the same type of thing. That's a message for myself too. Like, we have to start understanding that we can actually pull that energy and sovereignty back, by listening to our bodies. So hopefully that makes sense. But setting boundaries is huge.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I did about the your body talking to you. I mean, yeah, it really makes a lot of sense. I never thought about it quite like that, but you're absolutely correct, because it's going to pretty much, if you listen, you'll figure out what it needs. You're right. I mean, medical attention. We're not saying don't go to a doctor. But,
Yeah, we're not saying
I
that.
mean, you're definitely like, well, I got this thing going on, and part of it is there. You can definitely help your physicians, like, yeah, well, this is what I feel, and then maybe because I think they just sometimes, at least I feel with my doctor, they just kind of throw stuff at the wall and I could be,
Right.
you know.
You almost need to know what, and I know Courtney's been teaching me this. You need to be informed of your own concerns so you can direct them to do the
Yeah,
testing and whatever, right? So that instead of going, okay, this person's going to know everything and they're going to be able to help figure out what's going on, tap into your intuition on what your body's saying so you can give them all the signs, which you're really good at doing, but just in general for people, right? And then the doctor then is more, I noticed since I've been doing that, she actually helped me with that. Then you go in there, you got your list already. And then they're like, oh, well, okay, then let's try this test and let's try that test and let's do whatever. But it's just, I think a lot of what we have going on in our bodies, especially when we're very empathic, is we can take other people's things on, we can take our own things on from past traumas, and it forms illness and disease and things like that. And then we have to like really start listening to our bodies and tapping in and realizing they're screaming to us, hey, the arm, the whatever part that is, and asking, giving it a voice. Like there, it'll tell you, it's a consciousness. It'll tell you, I need this. You're ignoring me. You're not listening to me. I'm screaming to you. I need you to rest. I need you to set boundaries with people. I need you to hug that inner child that got you through your life to this point. Sometimes we push that away, because we think, well, our childhood was weird and we did all these weird things to cope. Well, thank that child. Thank you for getting me through. Thank you for doing all those things. I'm here because of you, and I love you and I thank you for getting me through up until this moment. So anyway,
I think
appreciate you
Brolick,
guys so much.
I think Brolick wanted a reading as
Yes,
well.
Brolick would like to be on the list. He is our next. And Brolick, I have forgotten, what is your zodiac sign? Or did you tell us already? And then he I think, is it a general reading that you want? So you would be next. So glad it's helpful, Courtney. I appreciate it. And you've been very helpful to me. Let's see.
This is the portion of the show where Bonnie's like, Brolick.
Brolick. Yeah,
He's
it's kind
Leo,
of
he's
bad.
a Leo.
Okay, so Leo, and for all of those in the future, if you don't want us to like have that pause, just when you ask your question, first come in the room, go ahead and say, I want a reading. I want, this is my zodiac sign and this is my question. Go ahead and just put that out there straight off the jump and then we'll put you on the list. Okay, so general reading, and he is a Leo.
All right. Brolick, what I got for you is, well, the first card I pulled is the Terrapin of Skulls, which is the Ace of Swords. It would be, so it's alignment, it's clarity, it's the beginning of this. You see the like little turtle there, he's reaching for he's reaching for it. He's got a new vision, he's ready to set out on this new path. So it's a real, it's the beginning of the journey here for him. So that's a good thing. But the second card, of course, is the Mirror, which is the Tower card. So perhaps this, in order for this to happen, something's going to have to give way to for that, the Tower. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's just something's going to change, but it's going to usher in this new beginning of what you're doing. The next card was the Five of Bolts, and that's the Five of Wands. Now this card is so each one of those is, well, if you're a Grateful Dead fan, each one of those is one of Jerry's guitars. They each have their own sound. So what this really tells you, not so much because they all have a voice and it's all one thing. In order to really go forward, you have to find a common thread with all of that, with all of, with all of these things that are pulling at you. And that's probably why you're getting the mirror, the tower, because it's a change, but it's a positive new change to bring you forward. Just don't let all different outside influences poke you or pull you. You just kind of rein them all in and find that common thread and then go with that. And I think that'll be it. It's not at all necessarily a bad thing. It just seems to me like there's some change that is going to usher in a new path for you to take, should you choose. And but it's just how you look at it, and just be cognizant of the fact that there may be some outside things that are definitely pulling or putting at you, but you could string it all together and just because you're aware of that. But other than that, I think it's a beautiful reading for you, Brolin. That's all I got.
Awesome. Bonnie and I talk all the time about how there's like a general theme usually, every time, like one time it'll be love and other time it'll be something else, right? I don't know why this is tonight with what the cards are showing me. And I did ahead of time is the starseed thing. I don't know what that is tonight, why it's coming up, but I guess everybody's kind of love. Sorry, my dog has to talk during this live, but hold on just a second here. Okay, sorry. When my roommate goes through, my dog has to scream at him. Okay, so what I'm getting is that you need to tap into the starseed side of yourself. Like I've told a couple other people during the live, it's time. Like when it's time, we're going to start having those things come to us. And so basically, I don't know whether you've had dreams about extraterrestrial beings or whatever, but they're making me feel like you've been an experiencer in some way, like maybe through a dream, or you felt like you were on a ship or any of that kind of stuff. So it would be interesting to know if that's the case, because they're showing me a visual, like maybe you've been interested in some way kind of about the galaxy and beings, and whether you were a Star Wars fan or I don't know, but like you've been drawn to that, and that's a sign of being a starseed. And then this little Martian guy keeps showing up, and I don't know if he showed up for you before, but apparently that's one of your lineages that you have been before, is a Martian. There's different colors of Martians. They come in red and orange and green, but he's showing up. He's saying, hello, I have a message for you.
That was that new beginning I was talking about. See?
Yeah. So now you're about to go down that rabbit hole too. And I'm telling you, you want to ground yourself, because it can get a little weird and mystical, but it's fun. And it kind of just gives you another piece of who you are. But you just realize that for me, it's helped that I don't feel quite like I'm getting involved in all the nitpicky stuff that humans do. When I realize that I'm part of something bigger and that I've been probably more galactic lives than a human, I start realizing, okay, humans do a lot of whatever and get the feelings hurt and do all these things. And it's like, okay, I never really resonated with that. I'm kind of a loner and I kind of pull back from all of that. Well, this explains why.
Hey, Dupree's got a really good question. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, Dupree's got a question. If you can answer it, I'm curious about that.
Can you explain more about the starseeds? Do certain people have starseed connections because of their past lives? Yes. So there's signs of a starseed. And if you'd like to see like the whole, like I'm going into a research project that I'm going to be interviewed by Karen, actually on the 3rd of September, and it'll go into like all the details of what is a starseed and whatever. You can look it up as well. But basically, and yes, I'm a starseed. And so a lot of us are, like, we all have a little bit of DNA from past lifetimes that are, galactic. But if you really resonate with it, how do you know you're going to long for a place like you just don't feel home here? You feel like you feel misunderstood. You feel like you want to help people, but you don't know how. You feel like, you have a strong intuition, all your clairs are kind of there, and you have things that happen to you, you go, okay, that can't be a coincidence. A lot of people that are tapping into their gifts are realizing that they actually are star seeds. There's a whole list of things that kind of describe it, and you can look it up online and it'll tell you. But basically what it is it means that you've had lifetimes during your lineage as a soul. You've had multiple lifetimes, and you've had lifetimes before the creation of the earth. So you have been different galactic races before you were ever a human. And that's why you resonate with all of these different beings. Like, oh, I like the mythical beings, and I like the angelic beings, and I like interdimensional beings, and I like things about the galactic and the cosmos and astrology and all of it, all of these things resonate with me because I am more than just having human lifetimes. So tapping into that is just a piece of your ascension of understanding who you've been, who you are. So you start with learning your past lifetimes as a human. And well, really I started by understanding I was empathic. And what did that mean? That helped empower me. I realized I wasn't crazy, and that I had emotions that felt stronger than the typical person. So you might be called over dramatic or sensitive or a drama queen if you're a female, and you realize that you're sensing and feeling all those energies. Then I started to understand that I had different clairvoyant gifts, and I started tapping into that. We all have them. Some people they come online stronger or sooner. And then I started to realize that I'd had past lives and what those were as human past lives in different areas, different places. And then you go to understanding the lives before the earth. And that's a whole new Pandora's box. But it helps you to feel empowered, protected. You understand a little bit more where your gifts came from, where actually all of the gifts on this earth came from. You just understand so much more of the puzzle. So we all have times when it's time to tap in. You'll know because you feel drawn to it. It resonates with you. What I'm saying resonates with you. Yeah, I'd like to know more about that. I want to know more about that. You'll know it's time. And if you're looking at it going, yeah, this woman's crazy, off her rocker, then it's not time. So
I think also, just like we were saying, yeah, people like might be like, "Oh, this lady's crazy off a rocker," but I mean, ultimately, every journey starts with really one footstep, one small movement forward. So, with that being said, I think everybody, all you, me, all the others, has an innate ability, the intuition that could, I can't really, I can read cards, read the energy as I'm feeling it, but I mean, ultimately, you, because it's your reality, it's your path. So, while I like all the star seed and all that other stuff, it's really really fascinating and very interesting to me. The point is that you don't have to just like shun that because it's like, well, I don't know if that's all me, because inside of you everyone has that ability, and as it blossoms and as it blooms and as it grows, then you can, really, like she said, you put together the pieces of the puzzle, because you are given everything that you need when you're born. It's just nobody tells you how to use it.
exactly. And you don't, it's a weird thing. We sign this contract before we come in as a soul, what we're going to learn, what we're going to do, all of these things. And then we come in as a soul, and we might remember as a child, that's those children will say, I used to be this, and you were my aunt. And they're going, what?
Yeah,
And then
what?
you promptly forget between 3 and 5, usually. Some don't, most do.
Because they tell
Um,
you, well, that's nonsense.
yeah. And so then you forget, and then you spend your whole life trying to remember who you are. But you're just re-picking up the tools and understanding who you've been. Now, why is that important? Because whatever you're remembering, it's to help you pick up those tools and use them in this lifetime for your purpose. And a lot of us that want to give and do things for people, we get misguided, and we want to give the shirt off our back and do it for them and scoop them up and rescue and all of that stuff, because we don't realize actually the gifts that we have and how it's simple. It's simplified, and we can actually just take care of ourselves and resonate like a human crystal and help people. We don't have to like give the shirt off our back. That's what we tend to want to do, but it's bigger than that. So when you dive into all that info, you realize that, you realize that it's simpler and more complicated in one, right? That you're more you're like your own galaxy of past lifetimes and who you are and who you've been. And it's fun to learn, but it also helps you to grow and understand your power, right? Your abilities and your ability to affect mankind and the vibration, even from just sitting in your home. You don't even have to go out to do that. We're all connected. Every living being in every timeline, in every space, in every galaxy, we are all energetically connected. So you don't have to go. That's how come, like, you have somebody who you were thinking about, and then all of a sudden they call you. How do you think you did that? With your mind. Energetically, telepathically, every human can do that. We don't
Everything is
tap into
energy.
all those gifts. Yeah, we only use 5% of what we're capable of. So think about all of that other stuff they don't tell you about, right? Because anyway, it could go off on a whole tangent. So I will stop there. I
No, that's
land my
awesome.
plane.
That's awesome.
All right. So we have Carrie Chanel just came in. Did we finish Prolix? Because I got off on a little
I, bel
tangent there. I don't even know.
I believe that we
Okay.
did. Yeah.
All right.
You're
So
welcome, Roller. Thank you.
appreciate you. So Carrie Chanel and Study Helper are here. Thank God it's Friday. You are right. And would either one of you like a reading? We're done with our list. For those that have just shown up in the last few minutes, this is our new time from 5 to 7 Mountain Standard Time. We have been going 1 hour later, and we are going to start doing this new time. It's just better for both Bonnie and I to be a little bit sooner. So Study Helper is saying they've always wanted to know their gifts. Is that your question that you would like to dive into? And if so, we need your zodiac sign. So asking that tonight, it's like you get a little snippet of what the answer is. If you want something more detailed, like a longer where you can ask questions and all that kind of stuff, get a hold of either Kevin or I, or Bonnie, whoever you resonate more with. And we can go into more detail with a paid reading, but tonight we can just give you kind of a little snippet or like a general, because it isn't enough time. It's just, 5 minutes for each of us. But that is her question. Or his question. I'd like to know what is Study Helper's general gifts? And
I'm not really sure how to read that one. I mean, I go,
so I guess just go with what his guides are trying to tell you about that. Like what do they want them to know? And Carrie, Chanel, do you have a question? What past life did I do something amazing?
You're doing something amazing in this life.
Right? I love that answer because that's exactly what I got in my head. This is the big lifetime right here. This is the one where we're all coming together to raise the vibration.
So, about your gifts, what I'm getting is the storyteller, the fool. That's like the beginning of the journey. So, whichever, he's ready to take that leap. He's coming out of this, this universe. It only takes a second to create a universe in your mind, right? So, you know, this kind of tells me that your gifts are really what you're yours to discover. I mean, we all have gifts, but you're at that journey where it's wide open to you. Whatever you focus on, whatever you decide, that's it. But there's a lot of possibilities. The next card I pulled on that is the six of bolts, which is wands, and that's accomplishments. It's you see she's on her horse, she's doing her thing, she's got her rose, and so you may start out not really knowing a lot because it's your it's innocence, it's the beginning of the journey, but ultimately you're working to a point. I mean, you can get to a point where you're sitting high atop that and everything's working out for you. And then the last card I got for that was the Knight of Roses, and the Knight of Roses is the Knight of Cups, which is joy, happiness. Definitely. I think that goes with that. With that card. So I mean, you could certainly put a lot of fulfillment. Just I believe that you're starting. Because you're asking the question about your gifts, you maybe already know what your gifts are, or you're not really sure where to go with that, and that's symbolized here. But I mean, the path that you're on it can bring you to this, to this type of, point where you're able to, to work with your gifts and understand your gifts more and do what you want. So, I mean, that's a really beautiful thing. Just keep that, adopt that, that very innocent, childlike attitude, and then go with it, because, you're going to charge forward. You're going to charge forward. So I like it.
Awesome. So what I'm getting is that you are empathic. So I would start there with looking up signs of an empath, understanding what that means, that you actually can feel the room, you can feel people's energy, you can feel what mood people are in when they're coming near you, whether it's work related or when you go somewhere, or even watch people or see them in a photo, all of that. Then the next thing would be to start understanding what are the different clairs, and how do I feel like I've experienced any of those things during that time. Um, with you being empathic, you will have all of the clairvoyant gifts. We all have them, but some people, they're just stronger initially. So tapping into those, and I never knew I had any of them either until I actually started focusing on studying what they were and understanding them and practicing them. And they're not always you can't compare yourself to other people. There's practice groups. We've got a practice group that anybody can join. Let us know if you're interested in it, and we'll have a link sent to you, where you can go on Tuesday nights and get in and practice. We usually do like a psychic or a mediumship reading, but you're just going with whatever comes to you. So you're just kind of getting the confidence. There's study groups in person. You go like to meetup or whatever, and you try to punch in, psychic study group or whatever, clair that they're focusing on. But you first look up clairvoyant gifts and understand the empathy. I'm getting this card for you, that meditating is going to help you kind of get a direction on which clair that you want to focus on first and practice, because it feels like you're getting a lot of like things that you're not sure what is that, like maybe a color or a shape or a smell, or all that is them trying to tune your guides, trying to tune into your senses and use what they can to help you understand your gifts and what you're capable of doing. So when you hear buzzing in your ear, ringing in your ear, then start paying attention. When is that happening? Do I feel it in one ear or the other ear? If all of a sudden I start feeling itching all over, like where does it move? Why is it doing it? Do I have dry skin or am I just itching? That's my symbol for somebody in spirit that's passed is around. So I know that that's the medium, sign that I have. We all have different ones, and you just tap into these things that are happening over and over. Um, and then you start studying about what it is. So it's a rabbit hole there too. You start with that, and you just go to each one, and then you start kind of learning about it, and then you start practicing it. On other people, doing readings. Some people resonate with cards, other people resonate, like the drawing or automatic writing. You can do that. You just put your pen down, put a question, and then just let it go, whatever answer you get. There's so many different ways that you can go about it, but I would start with understanding that you're an empath and how that actually is a gift. It can feel like a curse sometimes, but it's actually a gift because you can read people. And that's what makes you such a good teacher and helper with people, that are studying and trying to learn things because you can tap into kind of where they're at and meet them there, help them understand a part of them that they don't understand on how they learn. So that's a gift. That's not everybody can do that. Not everybody has that sense. So I'd start there. That's where I would start. Hopefully that's helpful.
Did Carrie Channel want like a reading or
Pardon?
Carrie Channel is Carrie Channel
Yes,
not gonna-
Carrie wants to know, well, they're a Taurus and they wanted to know about past lives. So I agree with Kevin, like you've had other past lives, but this one is the most important. This one is where you're going to learn about yourself more than you ever have. And you're going to understand the power of being you so that you can help, because there's so many of us coming to this lifetime to understand our gifts so that we can actually help other people awaken. We can help other people to not want to jump off this planet when they realize the truths that are coming forward. Okay, because it's peeling the onion away of all the truths, the reality of, shaking up, we've been lied to, and all these things, right? So it's layers of that. So we're here waking up before others so that we can help those that are waking up behind us. So this is actually the most important lifetime because all of those lifetimes you've lived are those gifts that you accrued are going to help you in this lifetime to do this job. So that is the answer that we're both giving you is this lifetime. Let's see. Stephanie Pearl would like a reading. And let's see here. What was your information, Stephanie? Did you have a question for us and your sign? Sorry, my brain glitched there for a minute. Carrie, you want to ask about your gifts. So do we redirect that and go ahead and answer that, or do we save that for next time since we answered the other? What do you want to do?
Does not matter to me. Do what you feel.
I guess you didn't do a card spread, so go ahead and do a card spread for her on Carrie Chanel. And then I'll go ahead and tell her what I'm getting as far as her gifts. I feel like you've lived a lot of lifetimes in the past where you have gathered a lot of information, analytical information. I feel like your gifts that are going to be pertinent to this lifetime would be tapping into that inner knowing of what your part is in it, because I feel like some of the things that you're meant to do is to help people understand a piece of the puzzle that other people don't. So like there's a lot of us that are, you know, empathic and getting into like helping people that with their emotions and their, you know, light and all of that. And I feel like your gift is more analytical. It's more about trying to help people understand caring for the earth, caring for the vibrations, sounds, hertz, the things that are a little more scientific, if that makes sense. Raising the vibration, gridding with crystals, all of these kind of things that kind of have to do with the vibration of the earth. So if that resonates with you, that's kind of what they're trying to help me understand. So whatever you're drawn to that has to do with spiritual teachings and whatever, that's the route that you go, and you start digging into the things that resonate with you, because we all have all of the gifts. You just have to go with whatever it is that you feel drawn to first to practice and learn about. So writing would be a wonderful way to do that. Definitely writing it, because that gets it out to the masses, right? In whatever way, whether it's a poem, it's a book, it's a pamphlet, it's a seminar, whatever it is, writing that in a spoken word hits people just like music and art and any of those things. So you would have the gift of channeling through your writing. And I believe all artwork, all writings, all music, and all of those things that hit you at a soul level are channeled. So when we have writer's block, it's because we have a disconnect with source. So you just have to clear your mind and realize that you're the interpreter and you're just allowing it to channel through you and letting it go. No analyzing it, no correcting it, just letting it go. And so that's what they're telling me, is that this is your contribution and your way to get started with helping the vibration and the changes that we're going through. We're decompressing and tearing down and deconstructing and letting go of old ways and bringing truth forward, and then we're reconstructing. We will be reconstructing into the positive, raising the vibration. So you're part of that, and this is the way. Hopefully that was helpful. What
And
do you get?
And yeah, you know, so the first card was the is the Queen of Bears, which is Pentacles, but it's home, it's nature, it's you know, it's cycles. She's like she's got the little bear, she's in there. There's definitely, you know, a love of nature, and there's magic, you know, much magic in terms of like, you know, whether it's mystical or whether it's mundane, but she nurtures it all. So, you know, this is back to that nature thing that she was talking about, which led me to the next card, which is Mother. Then that would be the Empress card, number 3 card. Again, going back, she's got, you know, everything happening for her, a nice little house, all her flowers. Yeah, there's storm clouds, but there's the rainbow, and then there's the sun. She's got her 2 children holding them lovely. So whatever your gifts are, whatever you're contributing is definitely, you know, is definitely pushing you forward. But the thing is, we have the mystery card, which that's the moon, right? So not always visible to you. You know, and I think that's the key that, you know, that brings it all together. It's like, well, you know, it's learning. You're not, this doesn't come to you at once. You have to kind of like, sometimes it's veiled, and you have to learn your gifts and hone them. It's not something that just like, all right, well, here you go, here's your gift. You know, you just kind of find out for you, and then, you know, go with you as it does. I don't think the moon is really veiling a lot from you, but just know that it's a learning process. But ultimately, this is where, you know, what you're giving back to everyone.
Exactly. Okay, last person for the night is Stephanie Pearl, general reading.
I thought I put them all in different. I had the cards that they were all the 3 cards I just read, and they're all the same thing. But I swear to goodness, I put them in different spots.
It's that theme thing we got going on, where you get the same theme with people, yet it just seems to happen.
Well, no, I was like shuffling them, but I thought I put all like I like to split the deck up and then put them in different spots so they're not like I don't throw all three of them at the same.
Yeah, yeah. But when they all jump out, even though you've rearranged and done whatever,
Yeah,
it's just like another person needs to hear the same message, Yeah.
Well then, let's see here. This is general.
Yes. Do I have that right, Stephanie? I just got that you wanted a reading, so I'm gonna assume it's general. I would love a message lead, but I don't know what.
Well, the first card I got was. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
The first card I got was the Three of Bears, and that would be the Three of Pentacles. So it's it's planning, dreaming, learning. See, it's like an artist, and he's painting the bears. They each got one of the elements going on there. So I mean, it's learning. It's a collaboration of it's bringing I'm at a loss for words, but it's certainly like creating something. You're going for the creation that it's not it's not done yet because you still got more stuff to paint, but that's where it's starting out. The next card I pulled was the Four of Skulls, and the skulls are swords. So there's like it just felt like exhaustion. I just felt like there's tiring. So it could be that this creative work that you're bringing forth, you could cause an exhaustion, which will lead you to that. So don't get if you do, be kind to yourself, rest and get what you need, because you're certainly painting a masterpiece here. Okay, because Queen's been showing up all night. She's loving, nurturing, home, outdoors, so this is really, it seems like the end goal, you know what I mean, is in terms of the, you got the beautiful painting, but don't get hung up in your head with with the skulls. Those are swords. It's a swords card if it's regular tarot. So, I mean, don't let that get you. And then ultimately your reward will be, this home loving, nurturing thing. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. It's like, I'm tired.
No,
But I hope that makes sense though, because it really is there's this creative drive that's pushing you. But I think that the hang up here is like sometimes myself, everyone, can get hung up in your head. And don't let that spoil that, because you certainly have beautiful overall energy happening.
And I agree with Kevin. So what I'm getting for you is that you have got kind of hung up in your head, of all this stuff. What happens is we just get so many ideas, so many things going on that we start like letting it just circle around like a hamster's wheel in our head. Write those things down. That's why you're sitting at a table here. Write those things down, journal those things. When it's time to do those ideas and those things, it'll circle back around. And if it's things that you need to handle, you'll be able to see it in a list and you can check it off. And boy, does that feel good to check it off. And then just put it away. Don't look at it all the time. Look at it when you need to handle business. I'm spending this time today to handle these issues. Okay, I'm going to get my list out. Get it out of your head. Write it down. And know that you're divinely guided, that you're tapped in. It's just that you've got so much going on in your mind right now that it just seems kind of overwhelming at times, but definitely write it down. I don't know if you've ever done automatic writing, but you can actually ask questions, put it at the top of the page. This goes for anybody. You put it at the top of the paper, and then you put your question, and then you just put your hand down to the paper with a pen or a pencil, and you go ahead and just write. Now, first it might be whatever's in your head that you're writing, but just let it go. Don't analyze it. Just let it go until your hand stops. Doesn't matter if it gets scratchy or big or you can't read it. It doesn't matter. Just let it go. and then go back and read it. And that will be a channeled answer from your guides as to the answer to your question. So sometimes we think, okay, I've got all these choices. What should I do? Where should I go? How do I handle this? I'm overwhelmed. You can ask that question, but you can do the same thing with what's floating in your head. Just write it all out, and how you feel about it and your frustration and whatever's going on. Get all that stuff out of your head by doing that. And then you'll be able to clear your mind and focus and lay down or close your eyes in a safe space and start tapping into all of those messages that you're getting. It's clearing your mind that gives you a clarity of what the messages are. And whatever's coming through, no matter what it is, whether it's a sound, a taste, a color, you're seeing something somewhere, whatever it is, write that down because it will make sense eventually. And I think that concludes tonight. I want to thank Bonnie for helping us in the messages and guiding us energetically. And Kevin, we thank you.
No, thank you. It was really my pleasure. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
You were awesome. I think the energy flowed really well. And thank all of you for coming tonight. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you each and every time. We love you and have a wonderful evening. We'll see you hopefully next Friday on Friday Night Live.
A light behind the curtain, we shine for certain. But now we're in the hour of goodbye. There's music in the silence,